her. She's like heaven on earth, is she not? I just am in love with this style. So we meet again. Well, I am Nikki and welcome back to my channel. Of course, though, if you're new, I'm so happy you stumbled upon this video. All you need to do, though, is subscribe because I don't want you to miss any of my content. I have a lot of wigs to review, including new drops as well as oldies but goodies. I dabble in some beauty related content as well as wig topics. So just click the button. Problem solved. And if you have already subscribed, thank you so very much. I greatly do appreciate it. Today, though, I have another wig review. She also just recently dropped. Just in case you don't know my drill, I tell you all of the important deeds. So that way you know if this is the right wig for you or not. I don't want to leave any of that stuff out. And in return, please go down in the comments and kind of give me your respectful feedback. I love to hear your thoughts. And I also love to take requests. So if there is a wig you'd like me to review, just let me know and I'll look into it for you. All right, so I always do my little intro. Let's get on with it. Today I have another wig from my favorite wig company, which would be Outre, and today I have the style Dione. She is an HD lace front from the Melted Hairline collection, and the color I have her in is DRFF Chocolate Truffle. And let me just open this card up because right there is a color, picture of this color. But look at this. She comes available in a total of 11 colors. Beautiful, beautiful color selection. I like to see that. And just in case you are not familiar with the Melted Hairline collection or you just want a refresher, I'll tell you some of her features. And that would be a 5-inch deep parting space, a completely pre-plucked hairline and sideburns, natural baby hairs, and she is also heat safe up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I scooped her up from Ebony Line for $48.99. So this is Dione straight out of the box. And I always show you the lace and cap construction first, even though the lace is usually always the same, but just in case you're not familiar with it, that's why I show it to you, because I want you to see the shading of it as well as the transparency of it, and this is looking really, really nice. You can also see some of those baby hairs right there. And flipping her inside out, she has the attached elastic band right here, just so you know it is not adjustable. However, she does have the adjustable straps in the back here. Also in the back, she has one comb. She has the weft type of lining. You can see that 5-inch parting space right there. And then she has one comb over here on this side and then one over on this side. Now, the cap looks to be about medium size, which is standard, and usually these stretch really well, and yeah, just as I expected. I like to see good stretchability because that's what you want to see for a wig that you need to be larger head friendly. So I'll confirm it though and tell you all the rest of the important information when I come right back with my final thoughts. All right, everybody, I am back with Miss Dione. So let's get into it. First, by showing you what palette I'm wearing for my eyeshadow look today. That would be the Bloodlust palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And here's what that one looks like, because you know I always have to open them for you. All right, so let me say this. Even though I have a few cons with her, I am still very, very happy that I picked her up because I came this close to not. And that's just because I have to be a lot more selective in what wigs I do decide to purchase these days because, let's face it, they're expensive and they're costing more and more every day, and also due to inflation, everything is costing a lot more money too. And plus, I also don't have enough watch hours for my channel to be monetized yet. Yeah, unfortunately. So that brings me to the point, please watch this video all the way through. That would be very, very much appreciated. All right, so you get my drift. I have to be a lot more careful with what ones I pick up, but I'm happy though that she did make the final cut, because look at her. Look at her. She's like heaven on earth, is she not? I just am in love with this style. And she's one of those wigs that I would probably put into the category as being simple but elegant, because she looks very beautiful and romantic with casual wear, but honey, she's got some elegance too. Oh yes, definitely, especially this right here. Now, a lot of you already know that I have this thing for center parts these days, so I'm loving this too, but just the way she kind of like drapes down and then whoosh over on the side like this with these layers. What else can I say other than stunning? Just stunning. And then she has these little waves too. I really love that. Overall, she is 20 inches long. Thankfully, they did say that on the stock card, which is very helpful. So I think that's a really good, appropriate, and manageable length for this look. And of course, she's got some layers too, which I like, but just elegant, stunning, gorgeous. The list goes on. But anyway, I can't get over this color either. And I can't remember if I've reviewed it before. If I did, it was probably only once, but another thing that's stunning. And I will say this, I've said it before, but I think Outre picks the perfect names for these colors. I mean, chocolate, toffee, yeah. So you pretty much have this number 4 base, and then you have some different type of tones in here for highlights. As you can see, there's some 613 since she's face framing, so it's in that perfect spot where it stands out. And honestly, I'm not sure what other tones are in here, probably a few mixed together to come up with a certain shade, but there's kind of like a deeper red that has kind of like a reddish tone to it. I don't know how else to describe it, but I don't know if the camera's really going to pick it up because it's very subtle, but it's there. Trust me, it is there. And I think it's really beautiful how they use these tones together, and it's blended so well and professionally that, I mean, this is a gorgeous color. One I highly recommend. If not in this style, in some style, you got to try this color at some point. And of course, her luster is looking really, really good. No wiggy shine, no dullness either. Just perfect. Her texture is light yaki, not really much silkiness, maybe just a little tiny hint of it. Just more of a lighter yaki that is feeling amazing. She's really soft. The hair feels realistic to me. And this is also a texture I feel is multicultural. So let me show you her from the side and the back. All right, so moving all the hair back to the front, let me show you here. This density I think is perfectly appropriate for this style too. She has got that right amount of volume. Again, she's got that elegance, but she's got that simplicity to her. So it's a very appropriate natural type of volume. So I don't think she would be overwhelming. She's one you can wear with everything pretty much. Now, as far as tangling and shedding goes, I don't really have any complaints with that, but I will say I'm being very cautious with combing through her. Again, I'm only using my fingers though, and it's just because of this here. Because if you comb too much or whatever, then you're gonna lose that shape. So I'm just gonna run my fingers through her at this part so you can see what I'm talking about with the tangles, or I should say lack thereof. Very, very minimal tangles, and of course they came out easily, the ones that I did come across. But again, you just want to be careful with this. So she's slightly high maintenance, I guess, you know, so just be aware of that. But thankfully she just kind of bounced right back. So I would maybe recommend using some hairspray if you really want to make sure she stays in place. That is, of course, always an option. So just want to throw that out there. All right, so let me get into a couple cons. Oh, but first, let me mention she doesn't shed much either. I almost forgot. But anyway, all right, moving on to the cons. First one being the combs. Now, I prefer to wear the combs on wigs, but for her, I just couldn't, except for the one in the back. That one I am wearing. And that's just because when I put the combs in, it would bring the edges further into your face here. So then it kind of came out to like here. And it just didn't look natural. Nobody's hairline goes that far out. So, or in, I should say. So I didn't like that. Thankfully though, by not using the combs, she still is staying nice and secure. So that is one thing to just take into consideration. But you know, everybody's face shape is differently. So by using those combs, you might want that to come out a little, or I keep saying out, coming in a little further. But just for me, I didn't really care for it. And I just want you to be aware of that. And then the other thing is this little pesky thing right here. I used to love these elastic bands. I did. I thought that they were like the best thing since sliced bread. But as time went on, the more and more I started to dislike them. And it's just pretty much because it makes the wig tighter to your head, which don't get me wrong, you want a nice secure fit, but you don't want to have it feel like your skull is being crushed either. And it was really, really tight. So for comfort, I decided to remove it. But again, thankfully, even without using that elastic band, it still is a nice secure fit. And also by not using it or removing it, I think that the wig is a little bit more larger head friendly too. So just my opinion on that matter. But I do love this part. I do. Again, it's a center part, so I love that. But I mean, as far as the quality of it, it is superb. So as I mentioned, it is 5 inches deep and I didn't have to pluck anything. It is pre-plucked. I think the width is perfect and very easy to blend with one coat of powder. And plus she's also laying very flat, which also makes it easier to blend. So this all looks more natural. And I don't mind the baby hair situation that she has. I did also point those out in the intro, but they're a bit longer. So I just kind of kept them blended in with the rest of the hair. For me personally, I just preferred it that way. However, if you want to lay your baby hairs down, you can kind of find them and work with them pretty easily too. So you can go either way with the baby hairs. But overall, I'm liking this. I mean, some styles you don't really need to have baby hairs, so I like it. But here's where I have another con, and this is probably the biggest one of them all, probably the one that really actually matters. She's not really pre-plucked other than the parting space. So let me show you here. I mean, look at this. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's like some wigs from this collection are really nicely pre-plucked, and then you have other ones like this that I'm like, where is it? Where is it? I don't see it. Same thing over here. I mean, come on now. This is pretty thick. I mean, maybe just a little bit right there, but not enough to really classify as being pre-plucked in my opinion. So to me, that is very frustrating. It's also very inconsistent, obviously. I would really like to see that consistency. If you're going to pre-pluck one, pre-pluck the other one, if that's what it says. You know, I don't get it. But I'm not going to dwell on it for too long. You don't want to hear it all. So anyway, I'm upset with that part. And again, to me, that is probably the biggest con. But I'll show you the edges here again. You can see though, again, this is fitting better for me by not using the combs. So you can see what it looks like that way. I didn't glue her down there, but I don't mind that. Again though, too, this is a style that covers that up, but still, you're paying for that premium price. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much that. But she does feel very comfortable to wear now that again, I'm not using the combs or that band. I do think she's larger head friendly without using that band. And I do still like her. The style pretty much makes up for everything else. At least for me, it does. I mean, she's gorgeous. So yes, I am going to go ahead and recommend her. Give her the thumbs up, just so now you know to keep in mind those different things that I just mentioned. And that is how I see it with Dione. But please be sure to let me know down in the comments your thoughts. If you already picked her up, tell me what you think about her now that you have her. And also let me know too if you decide to go get her after watching this review. And that's all I have for her. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. And I'll catch you next time in my next video. So till next time, bye-bye.